I think Orlando would be proud. Like, you can't just get a regular guy after me.
No, you can't.
It'd be a feather in my cap. Hey, everybody.
Hi, guys.
All right, so I'm going to start with one.
And everything in between.
So I can get Dom's reaction.
I have no idea what she's about to
So this is media news.
What you're about to present.
So, on Monday, the Halloween Baking Championship finale happened.
What is that on?
Melanie won on Food Network.
Oh, I don't watch that.
I know, and you're like, is that media news?
No, but I will when it's like Christmas, and I watch it like when they put it on like streaming.
The holiday.
I find it very I can watch older episodes. It's very comforting.
So whenever a new season comes out, I go back and watch the last 3 seasons. It's not the same people.
You have a very interesting.
I just like to. I know. I just like to be like, oh, I remember when they made that. Oh, I remember when they made that. Oh, that was so cute.
Sorry, she was eating the pillow.
We're working.
Sorry.
And now she's coming over.
My apologies to our audience. My dog was just eating my pillows.
Yeah.
I like the Christmas one.
I like the Christmas one too. Well, they changed it because usually they have so many like tricks and like fake ingredients. This time they didn't do any of that. And so the contestants were really, really strong. Mm-hmm. But the lady who won was my least favorite of all 4 of the contestants. Oh. And her thing was she had to make a cake depicting someone being crushed. And her thing is, she says, I am so hard on myself that this cake was me, like, telling myself you can propel and you can get through things. Because she was like, I had a nasty divorce. I felt like I deserved it. And then I had brain cancer. I felt like I deserved it. So, like, I'm always being crushed by my own thoughts. And that was, she was like, so this cake is literally me, like, pushing myself up out of the...
God, that's so relatable, too.
Listen, all the judges were crying.
Yeah, I would.
Well, she made a chocolate peanut butter cake. So I think that's why she won.
It's where you lose me.
No, it looked amazing.
I'm very weird about peanut butter.
Okay. Well, even on TV, you can tell if a cake is dry.
My mom says that all the time, actually, when she watches all that stuff. You can tell, like,
yes,
like whether it's the breading or the fillings.
Yeah.
So that is true. I don't have an eye for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that looks great. And it could taste like shit for all I know.
Yeah. No, you can tell. That's one of the shows where I would love to see, like, the behind the scenes. Because they give them 2 hours to record and they edit it down to 45 minutes. And I always want to know, like, do they have, like, a recipe page right here? Or is
I've
it all
always
in
wondered
their
something
mind?
like that.
Yeah.
This is going to sound morbid, but go with me here. Whenever I'm in the hospital, I try to not make it a habit. But, you know, like, I feel like anytime that I spent the night at the hospital, one show that I feel the Food Network, at least the hospitals that I've stayed at, is always like a staple. But I used to love watching Beating Bobby Flay.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed.
No offense, I don't care for him. My aunt actually met him once years ago when he was a big asshole.
Apparently. I would fangirl. I would like...
But that would be a show that I would want to see the behind the scenes. Yeah. Because all that stress... Well, clearly they're coming in with some sort of idea, I think.
No, not really, because they choose the ingredient when you're there. But, so when you audition for the show, you have to give them your favorite recipe. That's why if you get chosen, then they can bring out a basket while your stuff prepped. Like, they wouldn't regularly
I think that's what it is,
rutabaga and shit.
Or, like, they're obviously not going to choose me if I'm like, I only make, you know...
Right. Shrimp scampi.
Like, right. Or, like, seafood and the dish is like, okay, you have to use beef and, like, you know what I mean? So okay.
They do have concessions for if you're vegan or like gluten free or something. But it has to be something like that. It can't just be like, I prefer to make steak.
I specialize in you know, Asian cuisine, but we have to make Italian.
I know, yeah.
But you know, my dad would be really good on that show. He is so good at, because we owned a restaurant growing up. It was a family restaurant. Him and my aunt, his sister, they can go in a restaurant, taste something, and recreate it by taste. I cannot do that.
Theo and I went out to eat and we're trying something, and I was like, oh, this is so good. And so the waitress comes out and she's like, how's your meal? I'm like, it's fine. I was like, I can't figure out what this is. She's like, do you not like it? I was like, no, it's like, it said mashed potato, but it's giving celery root. She was like, let me check. She was like, we were out of potatoes. It's celery root.
Oh my God.
And Theo was like,
that's a true like talent.
He was like, okay, food critic.
Like, I don't have that ability. I just think that is such a cool skill to have when you're able to identify, like, celery. I don't even know what celery root tastes like.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I love the show because you have to be accomplished to come on, even if you're a home baker and not like a restaurant baker, because you have...
Though I think, is there not, correct me if I'm wrong, in the Food Network, there was or is a show where it was like everyday, like...
super amateurs.
Yeah, like, because that's you could just have that natural talent of cooking, baking, whatever the thing might be, but you're not trained.
You could, but it's...
I find that, I haven't watched that, but I feel like that'd be really interesting to watch.
I just have to be in the mood for one of those because I don't watch TV to watch amateurs. Like, if you're on TV. You know what I mean? I would watch like a learning to cook on YouTube, but I don't go to the Food Network to see someone who doesn't.
I make the same things every week, and I don't get tired of food in that way that easily. So I can eat the same like meal like 4 days in a row.
Well, my favorite thing is the time management, and I know that's silly, but someone will make like a 3-layer something with like their own caramel sauce, and someone else was like, I only had time for a brownie. It blows my mind. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite part of the show. Because some people just get like the cameras, the stress, and they just, or they'll have so many components, so many ideas. And they can't
I would like to see it behind the scenes because I had one in the background. Sometimes I leave it on for Lucy when I leave. And when I was leaving, it was like, I need the fryer, but the guy was using the fryer. And they had like 2 minutes left on the clock. And my small brain, again, I'm not a culinary, aficionado, but I'm like, there's no way you'll be able to like, he still needs to finish.
I know.
I'm sure there's some sort of like, skim the oil. But I'm like, there's no way you're going to...
And then get it done.
So I know that there's like cooking TV magic. I'm sure it's involved. But I was like, this is really stressful. I could not do that.
Okay.
Do you have anything else?
I do. I have one more.
Go ahead.
So Megan Thee Stallion has this new song out. And it literally has 1 million views since Friday, October 24th.
I love the cover art.
The video, everyone is like, I started watching it and I dropped my phone after 20 seconds and went to the gym. The video is stunning.
The music video for it?
Yes. And so she's getting a lot of flack because she's now dating Klay Thompson, who is an NBA player. Yeah. And people were wanting some lovey-dovey song. And it's like, he knows her for shaking her ass and talking about it.
That ain't her style.
And everyone was saying that Taylor Swift just changed her style now that she's in a relationship. So it's like, you guys would have talked about her if she changed her style. You would have talked about her if she didn't.
She's one of those, damn if she does, damn if she doesn't kind of a situation.
But Megan had released like a 10-second clip of the song and people were like using it like crazy. And so now the whole song is out and people are, it's so good. I do. It's giving old school J-Lo when she used to do those dances. And it's like, her body is beyond. I follow Megan on social media and she often is,
she's so stunning.
Here, let me show you one of my favorite clips. I watched it for like 3 business days. I was like, she looks fantastic.
I wish I could move my body.
And like, where is the extra fat jiggle? Like, there is none. Stunning.
She's a beautiful woman.
And I love that she's attractive and she knows she's attractive. She doesn't try to
hide
away
confident.
from it. Mm-hmm.
And she's watching Sex and the City for the first time.
I know. We love that for her.
She had the most interesting takes. I highly suggest Sex and the City fans listen to that I'm a Charlotte podcast with Megan Thee Stallion because it was really interesting because she's young. I love hearing perspectives of like these new generation of particularly women watching the show from the beginning and just hearing their take on it. Like, okay, what stands, what doesn't, or what resonates and what doesn't. Yeah. And she does not like Carrie Bradshaw, by the way.
Well, I mean, Carrie was very specific for that decade.
Yeah, that era.
She would be different if they had to redo the show now.
You think?
Yeah.
You have to be able to understand, like, okay, things were a little different then. Social cues were different. Social norms were different.
I just rewatched season 3, and even in looking at it, and you're just like shocked by the lack of cell phones.
Yeah.
And people were just like legit out to eat, staring out the window, looking at the street. And you're just like,
when they're at the cafe, they're actually having, I don't know, conversation and no interruptions.
And it was the episode where Charlotte's vagina was depressed. And she's like, I have to wait for my doctor to call me. And I was like, people do that, right? Because now you just go check my chart.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? That is true.
I know.
What did Carrie say? Like, no, Miranda's like, Charlotte, maybe you're
I think
want some French fries.
Well, maybe that's why it's depressed.
Oh, that was a great episode. That was groundbreaking.
I know. So what do you have?
In terms of music, we'll go with the music.
Okay.
Demi Lovato released her new album, and I love it. I'm obsessed with it. Followed by, she is going on tour for the first time in a very long time.
Yeah.
She will be in Columbus. I will be going.
Yeah.
I love Demi Lovato.
Okay.
And this album, it's fun. It's pop. It is... Oh, I'm obsessed with it. And she looks amazing. And I don't know how much you know about Demi Lovato, but I know she's had a lot of personal struggles and a lot of, self-discovery in the last several years. She's very open about like her journey as like a child star, having issues with eating disorders and drug use. And she has a she has a documentary that she executive produced about child stars.
Okay.
That is very compelling. I love her vulnerability so much because I think it's very admirable. Out of the younger women and the generation of pop girls that we see, like she's one of those that stands out to me. That my point of view is that she doesn't get the notoriety and kind of, I don't know, the positive attention I think she deserves. Because first of all, she has an amazing range and she has a very powerhouse voice. I think a lot of people think of Demi Lovato and they think kind of the struggles that she's experienced rather than like just her talent. She's a stunning, beautiful woman. She has this beautiful big smile.
I love her tattoos.
Well, my cross on my hand is because she has one.
Oh, wow.
So, kind of dumb, but kind of not at the same time. Now it's kind of a funny story, but I had a bad day once. I was listening to her music. I'm like, I'm going to get a cross on my hand too.
I love that.
Yeah.
I always knew it wasn't religious, but I didn't know where it came from. Okay.
So she has it from this album cover. So you can kind of see it. Yeah, right
so what's her new album called?
It's called It's Not That Deep.
Ooh.
It is, and the tour is It's Not That Deep tour. And what I love about it, because I was listening to several interviews with her.
That's so relevant for everything. It's not that deep.
So this is the album cover. So she's holding like dry cleaning. She's naked, and it's all the stuff going on around her. I was listening to her talk about like the inspiration behind it, and it's just kind of that's life. It's
not that deep.
You're vulnerable, and you're just kind of like whatever.
But you're also exposed
to everything. Like she's super famous, and I'm sure that's very. I can only imagine what it's like to be not just famous, but mega famous.
Yeah.
With all your shit out there, and especially when you're so vulnerable about like your personal struggles, as someone like she has. I mean. It just opens the door to all different types of conversations, whether good, bad, or ugly. I find it very inspiring when people can, in her position, can do that because they know what they're opening up to the world. It's hard to be vulnerable just like with your friends when you're an everyday person, but the whole world knowing a lot of your deepest, darkest secrets.
I know.
I can imagine what that's like to live life every day. But it's such a good album. It's fun. It's pop. It's dancey. It is. Yeah. I highly, highly suggest it, and I'm so excited because I've always wanted to see her live.
Yay!
And she'll be here.
When? This year or next year?
April.
What am I talking about? It's October. You're like, yeah, she'll be here next week.
She'll be here on April 27th.
Okay. Are you still not going to Cincinnati to see Cardi B?
No, absolutely not. Sorry, no offense, Cardi. I still don't understand why she's going to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Like, not even Cleveland?
Well, I heard someone talking about that, and they were like, we don't mind that it's for the locations, but why in April? Like, you're not a winter. That's like, you listen to Adele in the winter, you're cozy. It's like, why isn't it a summer tour?
I have to imagine, I haven't done a deep dive into this. I've only looked up, Googled certain things. But the logistics of a tour, if you have several artists on tour, Demi Lovato is one too. So, like, and you think of, like, all these arenas across the country that have sporting events, local, national, all the things. Like, I can only imagine the work that goes into
stuff that hasn't even been announced yet.
Yep.
Okay.
And that's skimming the surface because who knows what that looks like. Like, okay, release the album. Is it going to be successful? Is it not? I mean, there's a whole lot of elements of like. I can only imagine what that. I don't know whose job that is. I'm sure there's teams, but like I don't know who spearheads that because God bless, because that sounds like a nightmare. And then you have to negotiate, I'm sure. And,
remember at our old job where they have like all the maps out and they just have like sprint calendars of like shit, and you're just like,
all those marketing calendars.
I'm sure somebody has that somewhere, and it's just like,
I'm sure
black for these, black for that. This person hasn't paid a deposit yet, pending.
I have to look it up. That like albums come out. I mean, I guess maybe I don't think it's so much like this anymore because you don't need to be signed to like labels or anything the same way that you needed to get your music out there. But it used to be, if I remember correctly, like if you were to release a new album, it was always on the same date. It had to be the same day. It couldn't be like, oh, Monday, when it's a Friday tradition. There was a whole like science behind it. When I used to work at Target many years ago before they really hurt our feelings.
I didn't know that. I used to work at Target too.
People that used to work in the entertainment, like it's like, okay, it's that day, so they would change all this stuff. Like, it was always the same, not the same date.
Yeah.
But it was always a certain day of the week. Like music only comes out, or at least maybe like in stores on a certain day. Like you can't. Like, I think maybe now you can release it on a Wednesday, but the physical copies. When it's something interesting like that. I don't know if that still stands or if I'm completely crazy and making all that up. But I remember it was something like that.
Yeah, I don't think you're crazy. I'm sure that used to be the case.
I definitely am.
Target has gone through many iterations, so who knows now? Yeah. So
I have no idea what you mean. Aside from that, well, if we're saying the music thing, I don't know if you've seen this because there was speculation back in July, but I think now it's official.
What?
Because in all the People magazines, everything is Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau, or I guess, are officially together. Aww. So they were seen holding hands, publicly holding hands, in Paris on the 25th. She looked beautiful. I think he's so hot.
He is. Her ex-husband Orlando Bloom.
It sounds like, from what I've read, they're amicable and have good co-parenting, and it seems like everything's fine.
Yeah.
But can you imagine, like, my ex-wife is now dating the former prime minister? I was under the impression, at least for a really long time he was pretty popular.
But I thought he was married. He hasn't always been
Divorced.
single. I think Orlando
Katy
would be
Perry.
proud. Like, you can't just get a regular guy after me.
No, you can't.
It'd be a feather in my cap.
And I put it on my Instagram story
That's
because
so old.
he only stepped down this past year.
Okay.
And I was like, damn, Katy Perry was this close to being the first lady of Canada.
Maybe he had to step down to date her publicly.
I don't think that. No, I think there's like a lot of like bad political stuff going on in Canada, if I remember correctly. And I was actually worried, but I like the new guy now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that's so
I love
nice.
that for her.
I'm like, she deserves happiness. I love Katy Perry so much. Your hate comments can go out the door, please. And thank you,
And thank
people.
you. Didn't you see her live this year?
Of course I have. I've seen all her world tours.
Yeah.
Just not her Vegas residency, which I really regret not going. It was amazing. I love her so much.
Yeah, I love Katy Perry.
So Michelle Obama is going to be on Good Morning America, or she's doing a one-on-one interview with Robin Roberts.
Okay.
Because she has a new book coming out
Next week, called The
Yes.
Look.
Listen, style icon is an understatement in my book. So that's going to be such a beautiful book just to have in my possession. But so this morning though, I watched a trailer for or a commercial, whatever you want to call it, on Instagram for a sit down. And it looks like there was a thing at the very end where she's like getting tearied up, and you see Robin Roberts holding something. Like, I'm assuming a picture, and she goes at the end. She goes, "I'm gonna get you for that." And the narration goes, and find out at the end what basically like literally like what this was. But apparently they're going. What I love about what seems like the book as well as this interview is obviously, for in my opinion, such dumb reasons why she's been criticized, really by a certain demographic of people for how she's looked, the clothes that she's worn,
Well,
her
it's
style.
a certain demographic now. When she first got into office in 2008, well, okay, let's go back to 2007 when they were running, probably even before then. Most people criticized her. I'm talking Black women, older women,
Really?
because they were just like, okay, so she came from law firms, and so she had a certain charisma, a certain presence, and so you were either incredibly intimidated by her, or you thought she was too masculine. And so there was this whole thing of let's get her some J. Crew dresses, let's get her some crew necks, let's let her look. They literally would try to be like, make her look softer, make weaker is not the term, but they were really like, we got to soften these rough edges.
Yeah.
And she wasn't a rough edge person.
Yeah, not at all.
She just had that like, I'm the head bitch in charge when I walk in the room.
She's a badass.
But her
She's a boss.
husband was auditioning for that role. So they're like, we know you are amazing. Can you be the supporting actress?
That's true. That's such bullshit.
It is, but also we got 8 amazing years because of it. And so it was one of those compromises.
Well, I
that she
do
decided
remember
to take on.
in that short clip that they showed from the sit down, she talks about, and I kind of remember this just in media at that time. I will say, like, the Obama campaign.
We still have Obama t-shirts.
I still have my Alaska for
Yeah.
Obama poster because that's when I got really tapped into politics. And I remember a friend of mine at the time, she was a Republican, this chick, but she's a loudmouthed girl.
Okay.
She would always say, like, I know I'm Republican, but I love gay guys. But we're also
Yeah.
17, 18 years
Yeah.
old, whatever. I remember she went to the inauguration because she was part of student government. And they did something. But that's when I got tapped into politics. That's when I think I was like, wait a minute. There's something that resonated with me. That's a very common theme of the Obama year, especially the Obama campaign.
Yes, we can. It's so
Yeah.
inclusive.
The whole president. Like, I really
So
felt that. And
empowering.
I was 17, 18, and I never paid attention to politics. My only memory prior to that of, like, understanding was my mom, we still lived in New York, voted for Hillary Clinton for U.S. Senate. And I remember, like, Mom, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? I remember waiting in the booth with her. And even then, I knew the significance of, like, Hillary Clinton and who won the Senate. But that's when I got tapped into politics and got really involved. And like, wait, what's going on? But I remember after that, and she talked about it, is I forgot what the event was, and she was wearing a purple sleeveless dress. And that's when she was
Those arms.
hyper
they were just
criticized.
like, we call them Tina Turner arms. Well, that's what they were originally, and then we started calling them Angela Bassett arms. At least that's what we do in the Black community. Because when
all badass women.
When Angela Bassett played Tina Turner and she had to cut, not even lose weight, she just had to cut, like keep your muscle mass, but let it not be fat. And it's stunning on camera. Stunning. But in real life, you're just like, when do you have time to exercise?
Yeah.
How dare you be fit?
I know.
How dare your
Healthy.
arms look better than mine?
Right. How dare you be a stunning woman?
Michelle Obama is the definition of your presence can be intimidating. Before she speaks, you see, first of all, that purple against her
I
skin.
know. Yep.
Flawless. She even wore kitten heels so that Barack would be a tiny bit.
Yeah.
I don't even think taller than her, but they would at least be the same height.
Yeah.
Before she even opened her mouth, would be intimidating people and triggering them because they just were like, she makes you so aware of your insecurities. If you have them, her entire presence. And so I feel like she's probably always been like that. So she knew how to own it.
Strong. There's a handful of, because I'm no shy about this. I always say that obviously I'm a gay person. And so now I was actually talking to some of my friends about this.
But that doesn't mean you're a Democrat. Are you a Democrat?
Oh, proud. Liberal as they come. Gay men. Women are typically our safe haven. That's why Republican women really freak me out. I'm like, women are nurturing. Women are kind of like our saviors. They are the smartest in my... I guess people would say that probably about my mom. She probably is intimidating because she has boss energy. And so when I find women that are not like that, again, like very conservative women, I almost find it really offensive. And
well, because you're a feminist as well.
Hardcore.
My husband is a feminist. Every man is not a feminist.
No.
So you have a very special set of characteristics.
They're there. But she's one of those that she makes me emotional anytime. Like to some degree, whether it's happiness, sadness, or like just like it moves something inside me. Like she's one of those that when she speaks, you listen.
Some of her parenting advice is so good.
So good. I love her podcast with her brother.
I love her. I remember Theo and I went to see her at Ohio State. Well, Barack was speaking, and so we went to Ohio State.
This campaign? At the Oval?
Yes.
I was there.
So we're there, and you start to hear this little roar, and we kind of look over, and it was she and her crew walking from the library, and we sprint over to try to get a glimpse. We didn't even get within 8 feet.
Yeah.
We're just
like, I just want to see her eyebrow. Yeah. Can't wait for the interview because I think she's really going to get into it. Because I also would say this. I love her, like, I don't give a fuck energy that she's been having this whole year of, like, I am me. Like, she's breaking the mold of, like, as a former first lady of what that means. I mean, let's just be completely honest. She's always broken the mold of, like, what should be, what could be. It's like, no, I'm me, and I'm going to undo me. And I just love this era that she's in. Like, she's on the cover of People magazine also right now.
I know.
About talking about these themes of this being comfortable in her skin and being outspoken and sticking up for what's right.
She's like, I'm wearing braids. I remember I tried to get them when we were in the Oval Office.
Can you imagine?
Nobody would.
No.
They had to do a public poll, and they were like, "You cannot do braids."
That's what I mean.
People
can you imagine
how
exactly? And that breaks my heart in so many ways.
The concessions she made, and Barack and the children, the concessions they made were worth it because we had 8 incredible years, and we still have their impact now.
Yes,
but it was not without feeling. It was not without hurt. It was not without.
Do you think Melania is so jealous of her? We obviously know that she like steals her speeches, but
I was just thinking about her because I didn't realize that this new thing they're building.
Which one?
So this is October 2025. The ballroom.
They didn't
is on approval for the East Wing where the first
lady
usually has. And I was like, oh, he doesn't have a first lady with him, so he's tearing it down, the memory of it. So I was like, all of his insecurities are so loud.
He said, obviously he's a big fat liar, but because he originally said they were going to touch the East
and
Wing.
Apparently he said he's paying for it, and we're still.
Well, he has donors. And there was an article I read recently. They revealed like the anonymous donor that I don't know, several millions or whatever dollars. I'm like, that breaks my heart because I love history. Yeah. I said this to when we were in DC for Beyonce. I was walking around. I went to the White House, even though I didn't want to go over there. But I was like, and I got teary-eyed. I'm like, no, I literally said in my head, I'm like, this is our house. I almost have to stop looking at it because it triggers something so like, I just get so fucking mad. It's just really sad to me.
I know.
I saw someone put online and got so many likes. I think it was on X or something. They're like, okay, well, when the Democrat gets back in office, they should rename the ballroom the Obama Ballroom. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking right they should.
First of all, ballrooms are for when you have these big-ass dances and these women wearing these huge
You mean it's
dresses.
very authoritarian?
Yeah.
Pompous, you're trying to make a point.
What are you going to do in the ballroom? Plus, can you even imagine all the tourism money that he's taking from hotels and shit that are around that host these events?
Yes. And I saw some things online today, like, you could host big events in the East Wing. There was like pictures like that. So it's not like we've been good for 250 years now. I don't think.
But now we needed this,
right? We all know why.
I know.
So the last thing I have is I don't know if you'd like it. Are you interested in serial killers at all? I know that was a very interesting. I remember you said something about like
serial killers is the show You.
Okay. Well,
on Netflix.
He's so hot.
Have you watched it?
On and off.
I want us to do a season.
I think it's so. I love Gossip Girl. So
the
I love
fifth
him.
season just came out. Okay, but no, I have zero interest in serial killers.
Okay. Well, I do. So there's a new Netflix documentary coming out today.
Okay.
It's about Eileen Wuornos. Do you know her?
No.
Notorious.
A woman serial killer?
She's
or female?
Yeah. There was a movie. Charlize Theron won her Oscar for the role in Monster, and she played Eileen Wuornos. Oh. Christina Ricci was in it.
I didn't watch it. Well,
incredible movie.
Is that the one she gained all the weight for?
Yes. Okay. She had this extreme transformation. Mm-hmm. So Eileen Wuornos is a convicted serial. She's now passed.
Okay. Oh, and like they killed her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was sentenced to death.
Oh, okay. Oh.
She killed, I believe. I don't know if there was more. She was convicted on 6 murders. Wow. So she was a sex worker. Unfortunate circumstances in her life that brought her to this stage, which is a very common story. I feel like when this comes, because she was raped and like this guy's like raped her, even though she was doing this for a reason. You don't deserve
to be raped and because you're a sex worker,
right? And some of these scenes in the movie are brutal when she's getting raped. So,
so she's raped as an adult, and then she goes and kills all the men.
So the scene in the movie that you see when this guy like rapes her, and so I guess he had a gun. She found it. She shoots him, and he dies. That was the first murder.
Okay.
Anytime like she starts making money, she meets this girl, which becomes her girlfriend, that played by Christina Ricci. Christina Ricci's character, very conservative household, and blah blah blah. So she ends up like leaving her home, and they live together. They have no money, so she starts doing sex work again. Yeah. But she gets triggered, and she starts killing these guys and stealing like their cars.
Does she hide it from Christina Ricci?
Yes and no, not really. She
Fascinating.
knows. And so anyway, so the reason why, so there's a new documentary that's out, and I thought I had seen it like a month ago, like a teaser or something, but it looks incredibly good. But I guess you learn like there's a lot of jailhouse interviews that she admit, like she does. There's like a phone call between her and the girlfriend, and she's like, I'm going to confess because I want to protect you, basically. Like I find the story of Eileen Wuornos, it's very captivating because of her background and what the circumstances that brought her to where she was. It's really sad, and I think after the movie, especially Monsters, when it came out, I feel like to some extent, while we should never be doing any of these horrific things, I guess when you learn about someone's real story of what brings them to a certain place, you start to form some sort of empathy for them. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, man, she didn't stand a chance in this world. Like, she obviously had a horrible upbringing as a child. It's a whole laundry list, right? Journey.
But she wasn't just doing it for fun and just, this is great entertainment.
And I'm sure, like, and I have to rewatch the movie to remember the exact events in terms of it became intentional, I believe. And so I'm not a psychologist. I'm not saying like, okay, great, there's an excuse for people who do things like that. That's not what I'm saying. However, I think when we learn these kind of stories, I feel like that's when you can start to understand how the brain and the mind can work in those situations. I mean, when we start to understand these, things in the world, isn't that how we like solve them? Because we have to be able to understand the bad parts in order to remedy them to some extent. So
our brains are incredible. Our brains are absolutely incredible.
I wish people would use them more.
I know. I was thinking, listening to you, it's sounding like post-traumatic stress syndrome. And I'm like, people go to war and then they come back and you expect them to just integrate back into the world.
Unalive themselves? Or it is a common story of like, your trauma. I mean, that can manifest. And I've said this for years. So like, we all have, I think all of us have trauma to some extent. Some worse than others. Some it's, whatever.
Well, not even, because trauma is different for everybody.
Trauma is very different. Yeah, there's no, we all define trauma in different ways for ourselves, right? But I think, especially if you have childhood trauma, which, I struggle with certain things, just, being a little gay kid and being bullied and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. I have certain traumas of things that have happened in my life. And I always tell people, like, trauma, especially as a kid, it's like a broken bone. Like, when you break a bone, what do? You go to the doctor, you have to get a cast, or it's not going to heal properly. Right. When you don't deal with your trauma or your emotional baggage, you cannot heal properly. And that manifests in a lot of different ways. And, now we know better. But even when I was in middle school, high school, I remember asking my mom, I was like, I think I need a counselor or a psychologist. She just told me, oh, you're a teenager. Yeah. No, I'm going through a lot of shit and I don't know how to express it. And sometimes I wish, like, damn, I really wish I had that outlet. But now I think we know better, especially parents. Like when kids show certain signs of like something, I think we're just more aware to help, prevent and I don't know, fix those things.
We are. I'm smiling because I'm thinking about yesterday. This is like 8 p.m. I'm getting Maddie, my daughter, I'm getting her ready to go to bed. She's like, Mommy, last night I peed. And I was like, okay. And she was like, just like a little bit. And I'm like, okay, in your bed? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, so why didn't you tell me this morning? And she's like, it was just a little bit. And I was like, okay, well, I just changed your sheets earlier and I flipped your mattress and all this. And so I'm going to bed thinking about that. And I was like, how amazing that she told me. But then also she's looking at you with those eyes of like, do you hate me now? What's next?
Yeah.
Because they want to know, like, how did... And so, you know, you're just like, okay, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe let's drink less juice tonight before we go to bed. Or like, how did you feel when it happened? Did you not think you could make it to the bathroom? Like, I'm going through it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of what your mom could have been doing that day when you told her. And she's like, I hear you. But then she's like, also, I'm focusing on, did I separate the what? No, but I'm just like, I'm wondering.
But you know what? That brings up a very interesting perspective. I have not talked to her about it, actually, ever. So if she hears this, surprise, sorry.
She might have just thought it was a flippant statement.
Right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And look, here I am, all these years later, almost going to be 35, and it's still a very solid memory. I know where I was standing. I could see the whole scene.
Wow.
Like how pivotal it was for me. So it's interesting, like even for all you know, maybe that could be a moment for your daughter that she, for whatever reason, she remembers. And what you said also, which is really interesting, I guess I never thought about it because I'm not a parent, so why would I? But like her telling you and like searching for your almost like your body language in a subconscious way of what you just said of like, okay, now that I'm telling her, how she gonna,
she want?
The same way you hear stories of like unfortunate like kids who like maybe their parents like hit them and that's like, well, that's why I didn't say anything. They would like whip my ass. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like there's like this subconscious like narrative that I'm sure kids have of like, how are they going to react? Because
you don't want to shame her. And then also, how do I let you know to tell me again if it happened? And the way she said it was kind of like very innocent. Can I pee if I just wanted to pee? So I'm
like in bed?
Yeah. And so I'm always dwelling for answers like, were you relaxed when you did it? Like if you tried to pee on yourself right now, it would be very hard for you to be like,
just to
relaxed to do it.
You have to force yourself, probably.
And so as a 5-year-old, I'm just like,
what was that's so interesting.
Also, her dad is traveling this week, and so I'm just like, are you just pulling my leg? Like, are you just like
just saying things just like to get a rise out of you?
Well, because my brain, and I try really, really hard to either like take a beat or just not I'm not a reactive person now.
Yeah, that's true.
I've changed a lot of stuff, but so I'm not now. But I'm thinking like, okay, so your undies were wet, your pajamas are wet. Where are those? They've been sitting in your room all day.
Now you start to think about all the details.
And so that was actually what helped me take the beat. Because I'm just like, so all this stuff smells like urine upstairs.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
I don't envy any
14 hours later. So
when my dog pees in the house, I'm like, no. Like your pee pad was right there.
Can you imagine Lucy just looks at you? I pee because
she does. I swear she has. I'm like, did you? I remember when she's been on this weird thing of shitting in the bathroom.
Okay.
On the mat, like when you step outside, like those mats.
Does she think it's her pee pad?
I'm beginning. Well, she doesn't. Luckily, she has not peed on it. She always shits. And it's very random. Like when I don't know the rhyme or reason of like why today and not any other day. Because sometimes like, if I'm gone at work, she's pee pad trained, so she will go shit and pee on them if she has to when I'm not here. So I don't know why randomly she does that. There must be something like maybe a noise. I have no idea. But there's been times where I've taken a shower. An hour later, I walk in there and there's shit. And I'm like, you really did that while I've just been like on the couch? She's like, what the fuck? Can't tell you.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, you guys.
Yeah, that's all I had.
I know. And this is early, but happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. I hope everyone has fun and stays safe. And...
I love seeing all the celebrities dressed up. That's been my favorite thing this whole week. Because there were parties that started last weekend. Yeah. So people have been dressed up and doing all the good stuff. Seen too many. Oh, I've seen a lot.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Love that.
All right, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Yeah.
So I brought you all this candy and now you're like chewing. Say that again, but say there's a new one
coming out today.
All right.
Back up. Hi. No, that's like me when you.
We always do this, like we're not.
I know, like we don't, like we just.